Hello,
Hi, Vinu. Good
good
morning.
morning, all. Okay, so let me share my screen. Any doubts before we start? So, what were we discussing? Release management, right?
Yes.
Okay, so okay, so we discussed about the release management where release happens twice a year or once in 6 months. Okay, and this happens globally. We have also discussed about the types of release features that are going to come in each release. Okay, and the next topic is on the certification. We now know that certification is mandatory for every consultant, every aspirant who want to get into success factors. The first question that you will be asked is whether you have certification or not. Okay. So why do we need a certification? We need certification to implement success factors to customers. Who can implement? It's only the implementation partner who can implement, and the consultant should be certified because of the provisioning access. We talked about the types of systems where we have provisioning and instance. Provisioning can only logged in by certified consultants, and instance can be logged in by anybody, but the features or the functionalities that we enable in provisioning are required to do the configuration in instance. Though we do a little configuration in provisioning, that is required to have the instance configuration done. So the 95% of the configuration that we do in instance, that is mandatory, that now that requires the provisioning settings to be done. So provisioning can only be logged in by certified consultants. So we need to do the certification. And the employee code for certification, sorry, the certification code for Employee Central is THR 81. THR 81 is a code. So we have different examination codes like THR 81, 82, 83. So starting that sequence 81 to 86, 87, we have the certifications of success factors. So what does success factors certification contains? Certification contains total of 80 multiple choice questions. 80 multiple choice questions. All of these are multiple choice, and some of these multiple choice questions contains multiple answers. Okay. Some of them contains multiple answers. Now, wherever you have the multiple answers, they will specify that you need to answer 2 or 3. You will have A, B, C, D or A, B, C, D, E. Then you will be asked to choose the 2 correct answers or 3 correct answers. There are no negative marks here. Okay. And this examination or this certification can be taken online from your home itself. Okay. But the prerequisite to take the certification is you need to enable your webcam. You should have no headset connected, should not be sitting with anybody else. Okay. And you should not be carrying any kind of material or mobile with you, because a proctor would be watching you throughout your certification. From start to ending of the certification, a proctor would be watching you. You will be enabling your webcam. The proctor will assist you if there are any technical issues, and they'll be looking at you while doing the certification. The score will be displayed immediately after the certification. You'll be known whether you are passed or failed in the certification.
How
So
many hours?
this is for 3 hours.
And generally, what is the cutoff mark?
I'll show you here. It's usually 65%. Let me see if this in this year if they have changed anything. This release. Okay, every release they are changing a bit on the question paper. SAP certification list of valid certificates. Okay, so to access or to schedule your certification, you need to go to training.sap/certification. Okay, here are a list of the valid certifications. Okay, if you see THR 81 2405, 24 is the year and 05 is the month. So the latest version what we have is 2405. And some of these certifications like THR 83, which is recruiting experience or recruitment, 83 and 84 are related to recruiting. So here you still see 2311. This would be also be updated in next 1 or 2 days. Okay. Now this will also be updated. All the other certifications, they are updated. Now you see here THR 81 is 2405. Today, if you take the certification of Employee Central, you'll be writing 2405. This has updated last week. We still have some more modules which are still in 2311. Even all of these would be updated to 2405. This Employee Central, it got updated recently, last week, end of last week. Okay. Now you click on the view details. 52 marks for the cutoff percentage earlier, 65. Now I think it is 69. For each module, the cutoff score is different. Some of the modules, it is only 60%. For Employee Central, it is 69. That means you need to get 56 answers correctly. 80 questions, cutoff score is 69%, and the duration is 180 minutes, 3 hours. Okay. And you have 2 versions in the certification subscription. One is CER 006 and CER 001. Either you can take the 6 attempts one or the 1 attempt. It costs you somewhere 45,000 and plus taxes it goes up to 50,000. And this one 18,000 plus taxes, which comes to around 22,000. Okay. So difference between CER 001 and 006 is with this subscription, you get only 1 attempt. You fail in the first attempt, again you need to purchase the subscription. Here you get 6 attempts. You fail in the first attempt, you can use second attempt, you can use third attempt for a different module, or for you pass in the first attempt, you use the 5 other attempts to clear other module certifications. So validity would be 1 year starting from the subscription date. Let's say if you're subscribing it today, so it would be valid till next year. Okay. By the end of that year, you need to use or utilize your 6 attempts. If you have not used, those will be lapsed. If it is only 1 attempt, then that 1 attempt, if you have certified, you'll get that certification. Okay. And it depends upon the country that you have chosen. I have my country chosen as India. That's why it is showing up in INR. Otherwise, you can switch to some other country like US, it shows up in USD. You switch to UK, it shows up in euros. So depending on the country that you choose, your certification cost will show up here. Okay. And these are the topic areas of Employee Central. Core Employee Central, earlier they used to give the complete in details of the Employee Central core, like how many you would be getting from data models, how many you would be getting from position management, how many you would be getting from workflows and all. But now they have consolidated and they've just put it as 40 to 50% from the Employee Central core. And then position management 11 to 20, that means 8 to 9 questions on position management. Your transaction rules and approvals. These are workflows and these are events and event reasons. So total of 50% here. Up to 50% here and 50% here. I think they have added managing clean core. I don't know what exactly is this. Okay. So this is about your certification. Any doubts here? Now you can go to training.sap.com and you can check these questionnaire before taking an exam. Okay, what should be known? getting certified, staying certified, certification requirements. Okay, you want to see some?
Training.sap.
Yeah,
Training.sap.com.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll just add it here. You want to see some sample questions?
If you don't mind, yes.
So
Venu.
you have it here. You click on view more. It is like a sample exam. So you'll have some instructions before you start. Okay. Now this is some simple 5 to 10 questions. Okay. Now you can see the time here, 20 minutes time remaining 20 minutes. Then first set of questions. Okay. In real time also you get first 1 to 60 questions here. Okay. Which person, object, support, country specific field? You see here, there are 2 correct answers to this question. Wherever you have multiple answers, you will see them as the check boxes. You'll see the check boxes here. Otherwise, it would be radio button. If it is single answer, it would be radio button.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You select and then next.
We won't have this opportunity to see if it is correct or wrong, yeah?
No. This is radio button. Now you will not have that option. If
Just
you have
one
that
single.
option, everybody will pass, right? The first attempt itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You need now wherever it is a single answer, you need to select only one. You will be able to select only one, either this or this.
Okay. Got it.
Next.
We know
Okay.
how many years we can use these certificates. I mean, is there any validation
Yeah,
it expires?
I'll tell you about that. Okay.
Okay.
Now, once you clear first set of questions, once you have answered all the first set of questions, then you have option of submit. And once you submit, there are 10 more questions which would be coming up, 10 or 20 more questions which would be coming up here. Okay. I'm just randomly selecting some. I'll just select, I'll not look at these answers. Next question. Next question, let's say submit. And once you submit, your score will be displayed. The total score of 7 out of 10, 70%, or no, whatever percentage that you have. If it is more than 69%, you are passed, and if it is less than 16%, you have failed. Immediately, your score will be displayed once you submit.
Okay. So, yeah. So 69%, is it?
Yeah, 69%.
Okay.
So 69 into 80. 80 into 69%. 55.2. That means 56 you need to answer correctly.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, once you are certified, okay, you'll be getting a certificate with the S user ID. You'll be given a S user ID, which will look like this. Yes, and then a number.
Okay.
Okay, you'll be given a S user ID. Now, this S user ID, you will be sharing with your implementation partner. If you're joining IBM or Deloitte or Wipro, any implementation partner that you join, you share your S user ID with them. Okay. This contains your certificates. They will be transferring all of these certificates into the partner ID. So they'll give you another ID. Okay. They'll give another ID. This is called partner ID. Implementation partner. Okay. Now, when you apply for provisioning access, you need to apply with this ID, with the partner ID, not with this ID. You will not be able to request for provisioning access with this ID. What happens if you request with this ID? System will go throw error. Why you cannot apply with this ID? Because you need to associate with your implementation partner. Though you are a certified consultant, you should be associated with implementation partner. You cannot do implementations on your own. SuccessFactors doesn't allow you because implementations can only be done by the authorized partners because
Yes.
companies have taken license to
Mm-hmm.
implement SuccessFactors. So only they should be given access. So your ID would be converted into a partner ID. Your implementation partner will convert this ID into a partner ID. Now you leave the company. Let's say this as user ID. You're working with IBM. They have given you the ID, this ID. Now you move to a different company. After 1 year, you're moving out from IBM and you're joining Wipro. They'll give you you need to share this ID with them and they will convert this as user ID into their own ID.
Okay.
Okay, they'll
Yeah,
give
they
you
will
this
have a
ID.
different partner
Now
ID.
all of your certificates will be transferred to this ID. Now each individual will have a different S user ID.
Okay. Actually, Venu, when this partner IDs, different partner IDs are given to us, and it is all associated to our one user ID. Does that show, like, our changes? Like, does that have the history of our changes? Like, I have
Yes.
moved from IBM to Wipro and
No,
all
no,
that?
no. That will not be there.
No, no. Okay.
Maybe SAP might be having it backend, but no front end, you will not know anywhere, even the implementation partner or you.
Okay.
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 Even this partner doesn't know that this ID is from IBM or this ID is a partner ID or this ID is your certified ID. They don't know.
Okay.
It is that you have your certificates on this ID and it would be transferred to a next ID. So every change that you do, you will have to share this ID with the new implementation partner.
Okay.
Okay. Now, staying certified, click here for more. Okay. See here. Now, earlier till last release, if you're certified, certified with 1H 2024, okay, your certification version is 1H 2024. Every release, you are asked to do the delta or stay current. We call it delta or stay current. Delta or stay current meaning from the release of 2H 2024, whichever is the latest version. Okay. You'll be given some questions which are to be answered. From that release, you'll have to do a delta exam called stay current, okay, which keeps your certification active. This would be like 5 questions or 6 questions or maximum of 10 questions. Again, these are all multiple choice questions only from the release. And this can be done through Learning Hub. There will be another portal called Learning Hub. From here, you need to do the delta or stay current. Once you do your stay currents or the deltas, your 1H 2024 certificate will be updated with 2H 2024.
Sorry,
and this
Venu.
can be taken any number of times. Yeah,
Delta is a different exam. Stay current is a different exam, is it?
No, earlier we were calling it as delta, but now we are calling it as stay current. That's it.
Okay.
Both of them are same. So you need to clear every release. You'll have to clear the delta or the stay current to keep your certification active. Your certificate version will be updated to the latest. Okay. Again, 1H 2024, 2025, You need to take up the delta or stay current.
How many questions will be there?
It depends on release to release. Now, maybe this release, if you get like 6 questions or 7 questions, next release you may be getting only 4 or 5. It depends on the number of release features that have come in that release.
And the questions based on the release only, right?
Only on the release. They'll give you, again, before taking up the exam, they'll give you a notes kind of thing, a PDF statement, which contains all the information only related to that 4 questions or 5 questions. They'll give you those topics. You just have to go through that content and then answer these questions.
So
you can take it up any number of times. There is
Okay.
no limit here. You can take it up any number of times, and then only thing is you need to pass. You need to answer all of them correctly.
Okay, so with every release, you have to give the exam again.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. This was still last release, but this release, they have changed the process, and now once you do your certification, this is valid for 1 year. That's what here it says. Stay certified due. This is the date until your certification is valid. You must take the mandatory assessment before this date to extend the validity for another 12 months. So now the validity is for 1 year. If you have done your certification on 1/2024, even if you miss this delta, you need to clear the delta here in 1/2025. Earlier, every release, if you have missed 1 year, one release, then your certification will expire. And if it expires again, you'll have to do the complete certification again. You need to purchase the subscription and do the certification again. Now they have extended it to 1 year from 6 months. At least it is good now. Initially, when I did my certification, we used to do the deltas every quarter, once in 3 months. So later, the release schedule have been changed to half yearly. We are doing it half yearly. Now it is 1 year. Okay. So this learning hub access would be given by your implementation partner. Once you join any implementation partner, they would be giving you the learning hub access. This would be associated with your partner ID. You can log into learning hub and do the stay currents or deltas. Okay.
Okay.
Clear on stay currents?
Yeah.
Certifications?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The next topic for today is partner edge. Very, very important. As the name says, partner edge. Okay. You can log into partner edge using your partner ID. So when you log into partner edge, you'll do 3 things. One is download implementation guide. Implementation guide is a configuration guide. Every release SuccessFactors would be updating the implementation guide. And this would be in PDF.
Okay.
Okay. Now this guides you the configuration path. What is the sequence that you need to follow while implementing the customer system? Okay. What actions are to be configured? Okay. And what is the path? It will explain each and everything. We'll discuss that. We'll go and see that. And then second is configuration workbooks. Configuration workbooks are Excel. Okay, there are some Excel files which you need to download and share it with the customer. Customer would be filling these configuration workbooks. This is your requirement workbooks.
Okay.
Customers would be giving their requirements in configuration workbook. And then third is kickoff template. This is PPT. Now, there are around 300 slides which explains the details or which explains the SuccessFactors functionalities, each module. Employee Central, Now, how does customer know what configurations or what is to be filled? They should have an understanding of SuccessFactors application first before filling the configuration workbooks. So we need to explain them the SuccessFactors functionalities through kickoff template. Okay, so these three
Okay.
are important. They
Mhm.
are very important. And this again is given to only partners. They can download these documents. And this can be done through Partner Edge.
Socks for socks. Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'll just add it here. This is Certification Hub, and this is Partner Edge. You can log into Partner Edge using the partner ID, the certificate, the ID in which you have your certificate.
Okay. So where is this partner edge, Venu? Is it a system or
It is just a
uh,
URL. It is just a
okay,
URL. It is in the cloud. You'll be accessing it through. It is SAP's portal.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Now you have your products. Once you log into Partner Edge, you have products. Then go to SuccessFactors HXM suite. Once you go to SuccessFactors HXM suite, you have implement
HCM or HSM? HCM.
HXM. HCM or earlier we were calling it as HCM, Human Capital Management. Now it is changed to HXM, which is Human Experience Management.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Tools and assets. And you have explore implementation resources by SAP SuccessFactors Solution. Explore here.
Mm.
Then you'll find all of the modules, core HR and payroll modules, and talent modules here. Compensation, learning, onboarding, PMGM and all. These are called talent modules. And these are core modules of SuccessFactors. EC, ECP, work zone, time tracking and all. Okay. Go to Employee Central. And within Employee Central, you scroll down, you'll see implementation and training assets. Okay. Here you'll find implementation and administration guides, configuration workbooks, and kickoff templates. These three.
Mm.
Click on implementation and administration guides. Okay. If you go to implement here and everything related to implementation, you'll find these are all the implementation guides. And the first one, which is Employee Central Core, this is important. This is the main implementation guide. Again, for the subtopics of Employee Central, you have the implementation guide separately for dependents, payment information, document generation, and all. Okay, but most of it will be under Employee Central Core. You click on Employee Central Core, it opens up the implementation guide, and you can download the PDF version of it also. You click on PDF version, full document. This is the latest guide. Document version 1H 2024. This is available in the drive. You can download it from the drive. And you'll see the version here. 1H 2024. Okay. So what does it contain? It contains the information about how you do the implementation for customers. Let me show you that.
Again, one question, Venu. So
Hmm.
this implementation, how long does that actually take to finish, like approximately?
It depends on the customer that we are implementing for. Now, any implementation, it would be between 4 to 6 months. They'll say 4 months, but we can do it in 6 months. Minimum to minimum, it takes 6 months.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so if you are a consultant, how does that actually work? Different contracts, like during the implementation phase, is that for like only for 6 months, 1 year, for a consultant, or is that a kind of permanent
No,
or a
that's a
contract job?
simple that I talked about the simple implementation, which takes 6 months. Okay.
Mm,
Now, if you
mm,
have more customizations and then number of employees that we are implementing for, it might go up to 1 year also. Okay. And
okay.
initially, I told you that the one good thing that we have in SuccessFactors is every customer who is
Mm-hmm.
using SuccessFactors should have a support consultant working with them. Why?
Okay.
To support them because of the new release features that comes every 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
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 You should be explaining them about the release functionalities. You
Okay.
would
So
be
opportunities,
helping them. Yeah. Opportunities are
opportunities
always there.
of Okay, so opportunities of a support consultant, maybe that can be a permanent one, and otherwise, during the go live, like if you are contracting a role, something like that, so that will be a temporary one, is it?
Yes, yes. Go
Okay.
live and post go live support will also be there. Once
Mm-hmm.
the implementation is completed, after implementation, maybe 3 months, depending on the contract that implementation partner has signed. Okay, so it can be
Mm-hmm.
3 months or 6 months of post go live support because you are the one who has implemented, so you know what you have configured. So you will have to work with them for next 3 months or 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, it starts with the recommended implementation sequence, like what steps we need to follow to implement success factors. It says this is the recommended implementation sequence for partners and consultants. We strongly recommend that you follow this sequence for the first few implementations and discuss any variations with your team lead. So it explains each and every step, what step needs to be done, know how to start the implementation, what steps needs to be done. Okay, it explains again, if I click on it, it explains you where to navigate, okay, what needs to be done and all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay,
So what is this pick list?
I'll tell you everything. Don't worry.
Okay.
I will not jump onto topics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now this is your implementation guide, and you need to download this. Keep this handy. Now this document is available in the drive. I would recommend you to download this document. Take a printout of it. Okay. It
Okay.
contains, I think, almost 300 plus odd pages. Okay. But
Okay.
still, it is worth keeping a
Yeah.
printout of it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. This is worth printing, and because now if you have soft copy, it would be in your systems, and you may not be referring it. Keep it
Mm-hmm.
handy. Okay. Take a printout of it. Keep it handy. This is the only workbook that I'd be referring you.
Mm-hmm.
Only one implementation guide. What I'll be referring you to refer. All your certificate questions will be from this document only.
Okay.
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 Maybe some questions are twisted. So most of them are like straightforward questions, but some questions would be twisted. Like, no, what? How do you configure this? If your customer has a scenario like this, they'll give some scenario-based questions as well.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Clear on implementation guide? Others?
Yes.
Yes, Vin.
So we have to download that Employee Central overview completely, right?
Yes. They'll have to.
Okay. So all the questions are maximum questions from there.
Meaning, I didn't get you.
All the questions will come from that, right?
Yes, all the 80 questions that you do in your certification are from the implementation guide, mostly from the implementation guide, but some of them would be like your scenario-based questions. Oh, it doesn't give you the scenarios. Implementation guide doesn't give you the scenarios. It helps you understand the topic.
Okay. So we will be still able to do the scenario questions, yeah? So we
Yes,
can just
yes,
kind of logical or something.
yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Vinod. Mm.
So that's on your implementation guide. And
Okay.
next is, hmm,
Are you taking us through the the topics through the employee central overview now, or
no.
uh,
Once we
mm,
start the configuration part, okay,
mm, mm,
from day after tomorrow, we'll be again coming back to the implementation guide. We'll look at the sequence of implementation that SuccessFactor recommends, and we
mm.
go through the same sequence.
Okay.
If not all, at least for the first few steps, okay, we'll be
Mm.
doing the same from implementation guide.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Second is configuration workbooks. Configuration workbook for Employee Central, we have these configuration workbooks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Foundation Object Workbook, Employee Data Workbook, Benefit Workflow, Benefit Workbook, HR Transactions, Position Management, and People Central Hub. People Central Hub is the combination of all of this. Okay. Now, first, I'll show you Employee Data Workbook. It should be easy to understand. You click on it,
Mm.
it downloads the configuration workbooks. So, all of these workbooks are Excel, okay, which can be
Mm.
downloaded, okay, and shared
Mm.
with the customer. Your
So do
customer would
you?
be filling these documents. Again, these documents are available in the drive. Okay, you can
Mm.
go through this document.
Okay. Okay. That's my question.
Okay,
Okay.
now let me open this workbook and see what do we have.
Okay.
Employee data workbook. As the name says, it is all about the data that we maintain for the employees.
Mm.
Okay, now in Employee Central, we maintain all master data of the employees. When I say master data, it could be the personal information of the employee where we store first name, last name, gender, salutation, date of birth, and so on.
Mhm.
You have biographical information, which is all about the employee date of birth, country of birth, region of birth, etc. Age
Mm.
details. Then you have
Mm.
contact information. It could be personal, your email information or phone information and so on. Address information, your education details, your previous experiences. Okay, all of this is personal information. And then
Mm.
you have the employment related information. We call it org information and job information, where you store the organizational data, like what company does the employee belongs to, who no, in which location the employee is working, what is the department that the employee is working in, what is the grade of the employee, what is the work schedule of the employee, who is the manager of the employee, what is the type of employee. So all of this is related to your org information or employment related. When was the
Mm.
employee hired? And then you have compensation information. So you have the employee information in different blocks. Each of them is called a block or a portlet in SuccessFactors. Compensation information is a portlet or a block. Personal information is a portlet or a block. Job information is a portlet or a block. So employee information is stored in table-like structure, and we call them the blocks or the portlets. Each block or the portlet contains some fields with different properties. Some of them are mandatory. Maybe while adding the personal information, your first name is mandatory or your last name is mandatory, but your middle name is optional field. If you have, you can add. Your
Mm.
gender or a salutation, this is optional field. If you want to maintain, you can go and maintain. So you have some mandatory fields and you have some optional fields. And you need to maintain this data for each and every employee. SuccessFactors gives us some set of fields in each of these portlets or blocks, and it
Mm.
also allows us to customize these portlets. That means add some custom fields. If your customer feels that they want to add some more information about the employee and personal information, it allows
Mm.
you to add the custom fields. It allows you to change the properties of the existing fields. First name is a mandatory field, but again, it allows you to make it optional if your customer feels that they don't want to maintain. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
Example, if I go to personal information here, okay, you see here, system field. Every field will have an ID in the back end. Okay. What you see in the front end, the label.
Mm.
Okay. Now, system gives you a field called first hyphen name in the back
Mm-hmm.
end. The ID of the field is first hyphen name. But what you see in the front end SF label is first name. Okay, what you see in the front end is first name. The type of the field is string. Mostly you have types string, which allows you to input number and text. Date or date and time, which allows you to pick from the calendar. You can choose the date. And then you have number or a decimal field where you can input only the numbers. Okay. A pick list, which allows you to pick the value from the drop down. These are drop downs. Drop downs are called pick lists.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now,
Mm.
each of this field has got certain properties like a maximum length. Now, this field allows you to input maximum of 128 characters. This is by default. But if your
Okay.
customer says, I want system to allow only 30 characters, you can change this. Okay. Is it mandatory field? Now, firstly, customer label. Now, if your customer want to have it as surname instead of first name, they will be maintaining the data here. They will maintain the label here. Now, let me open it in the edit mode. Okay. So, personal information, this is the customer label. SuccessFactors is calling it first name. But if your customer says, I want to call it as surname. Now, this is the change what you have to do. If I go here, I'll show you an example. When I log
This
into system,
actually getting, Venu, this is actually getting little bit confusing for me actually.
nothing is confusing. You know,
Mm.
it's a simple thing. I'll show you.
Mm.
So, Beno, this customer will be HR of that company as end users?
End users, no, it is not only HR. It is
Okay.
all the employees of the organization. Now, let's say all of us are working for an organization. Okay. So we have HR, we have employees, we have managers, we have everyone. Okay. Everybody will be logging into the system. HR logs into the system to maintain the employee data, to transfer, to perform some actions like hiring of the employee, transfers of the employee, promotions of the employee,
No, I'm
terminations of.
asking for the Excel filling that will be done by the HR or
Yeah, that will be done by HR.
okay.
Now,
Okay.
whoever gives you the requirement, that they are called business users, either it could be HR or your IT team.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Now, if I go
is the
to
HR actually deciding about the requirements, not the management?
who is management? Now, your director or CEO cannot sit with you and discuss now what requirements they have to give. It is the HR system. SuccessFactors
Yeah,
is a HR system,
yeah.
right? HRs
Uh-huh.
would be knowing what information is to be filled while hiring the employee. HRs would be knowing what workflow they want to have while transferring the employee. HR should be knowing what access is to be granted to each employee. Even for your director or CEO, they might not be knowing few things related to HR,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Good.
Now, if I go to personal information of the employee, what we see here is the information what we have in the configuration workbook. Now, you see here first name, here it is saying John. Middle name is optional. Now, this is mandatory. First name is mandatory. You see the star, wherever you see star, this is mandatory. And wherever you see without star, this is optional field. Even if you don't maintain, this is fine. But if I am not maintaining last name, you see this is underlined. You will not be able to save this record. Okay. If I try to save this record, it shows that last name is required field.
Any mandatory signs are there?
Any
This is what.
mandatory field that you need. Now, the label of the field, SuccessFactors has given it as first name. But if your customer says, I want to see it as surname instead of first name, so they will be giving their requirement here. This is what they want to call it as customer label. Now, this is the change. So they will add it and they will highlight it with some color, saying that this is the change that we have to do in the system. Now, for your customer, now this field, they want to see it as surname. So you'll have to go change the field, surname. Now maybe there are some fields which are showing up here. Okay. And if they don't want to show all of these fields, now here this is a custom field which says COVID effective. There's nothing like COVID effective in the standard fields. Okay. But this is a custom field somebody must have configured here in the system. And this is a mandatory field. Now that means we can also add a custom field. So system gives you all the fields that are available in standard application. These are all standard application. Now, if I go and see visibility, there's a field called business first name, Alt1, and visibility it says none. That means in the system it is available, but it is not enabled by default. But if your customer want to use it, they can go and enable it, make it. No, may highlight it so that consultant knows that this is to be enabled. Now some field which is required. Now this is required. This is enabled field, but they want to enter only 10 characters in it. They want system to allow only 10 characters. So these are the changes that we have to do in the system. First, we need to change this first name to surname, and then there is a field which is not enabled, but we want to enable it. There is a field which allows you 128 characters. I want to make it 10 characters. So they will be adding all of these details. What is required, what is not required. This is a mandatory field. Again, first name is a mandatory field, right? Last name is a mandatory field. It is mandatory here. Okay, this is not mandatory. This is mandatory. This is not mandatory. Maybe this also they don't want it to be mandatory. So they will highlight it here. And we have to configure this in the system. We'll have to go configure this in the system. And your customer would be testing. I have given you a requirement to change the field name to surname. So when they log in, they will see it as surname. They will not see it as first name. They'll see it as surname. So they will see this as an optional field. They'll see some additional fields here, which are enabled. And these are all the standard fields which are available. Now there are many fields which are actually not enabled for all customers. And at the end, these are all standard fields. And at the end, you have custom fields here. Custom string 1 to 20. Custom string 1 to 20 meaning up to 20 text fields, 10 date fields, 20 long fields, 20 decimal fields or double fields. So these are the custom fields which can be configured for each customer. For each portlet, this is for each portlet. For personal information alone, we can have these many custom fields apart from the 60 odd fields what we have. Now we don't see here 60 also. We only see hardly 10 or 15 fields here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Attachment is 1, 11 and 12. We have only 12 fields here. Okay, but in the back end, there are many other fields which can be enabled. Okay, so there is a place where we go and enable it. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. I'll tell you all of these navigations and we'll be doing these things in the system. Okay, we go here, whatever requirements that customer has given. Now, these are all called on the right hand side, left hand side, you see, these are all called portlets or blocks with different information. Now, within personal information, if I have to enable some fields or if I have to change the properties of the fields, I go click on personal information. It shows up all of the fields of personal information here. You see, this is the identifier, first name. Okay, now the label, it is showing the first name. But if you want, you can go make changes. Instead of first name, change it to surname. This is enabled. This is mandatory. This is not enabled. This is not mandatory. This is enabled. This is mandatory. Enabled, but not mandatory. So these are all the fields. You see, these are the fields what you have seen it in the configuration workbook. Okay, and additionally, you can go and add the fields from the list. You see here custom to 20. In fact, we have more than 20 text fields. Earlier, we were having only 20 text fields. You have 10 date fields, 20 long fields, 20 decimal fields, and you also have now additional string fields, custom string 20 to 30, custom date 11 to 20. Okay.
Mm.
So where customer would be giving, this is only on the personal information. You have on the biographical information. Okay. You have a portlet on address information, national ID information, phone information, email information, and so on. And
Mm.
at the end of this file, you have the pick list values. This is a pick list. Now, some of these portlets will go here. Open any employee.
Venu, you'll be showing us like how this has to be input on the system, yeah, like in the real time, how the
Yes.
system is going to look and how we are going to
We'll
operate.
take a requirement, we'll configure it, I'll show you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, if I go to personal information or any other information, some of these fields are drop-down fields. You see gender,
Mm.
male, female, unknown, undeclared others. Marital status, again, is a drop-down. Preferred language is a drop-down. Salutation is a drop-down. So we have some values here, Mr., Miss, Mrs., and so on. But if your customer says, I want to add some additional values into this into the drop-down, you can also do that. Now, all of these are called pick lists, and this is available at the end of the page here. Now, these are the pick lists.
Okay.
If I go here, I can go and search for, let's say, salutation.
Okay.
Salutation, these are the fields, these are the values. Now, if your customer want to have one more custom field, custom value in it, they will have to maintain this data here. Okay. They want to have some XX.
Customization. Yeah, okay.
This is customization. So they'll have to highlight this. This is what you need to configure. When you go to pick list, this particular sheet, all the highlighted colors, now you need to filter by color and see what values you need to maintain.
Okay.
Okay. Similarly, if I go to gender, SuccessFactors gives you gender values like male, female, only 3 values. Select from the option, select from the list, male and female. These are the options. These are the values that they have given. But here we have added some more values, unknown, undeclared others.
So when all the drop downs will come in pick list, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's one separate set sheet that is allocated to the pick list. Like what are all the options that we had to add to the pick list. So it is all in there. And
Yes.
otherwise, like the name or first name, like default values, that is just like that. So that is in a different sheet.
Yes.
Okay.
You go to pick list center. Now here in the document it says, the document itself, if I go to personal information or sorry, here within personal information.
So what is this employee UI, onboarding UI, contingent worker UI?
Tell you. Okay. Now you have salutation field here. Okay. And salutation field is referring to a pick list called here. If you see pick list, this is pick list. This one is pick list value called salutation. Okay. Now if they want to see the values in this salutation pick list, they'll have to go to that pick list sheet and see what are the values in it. This field is mapped to a pick list value called salutation. This field is mapped to a pick list called name suffix. Similarly, wherever you have the pick list, have title here. Okay. Then you go and see the title, it will show the title values. Okay. Now, This is your pick list center. In system, if I want to see the salutation, go search for salutation. This is salutation pick list. What values we have here? We have Mr., Miss, and Mrs. and so on. So you want to add any additional value, you go add new value. Click on add new value, you maintain the values here and save. Okay. So we'll be looking at all of these things when we start our implementation.
From the okay, from the scratch, yeah.
Yeah, from this guys.
Okay. It's like randomly we're just jumping onto the screen, and where is this page coming from? It's like, the questions are coming up. Are we
Yeah.
going to do the same kind of work or something?
Yeah, we'll be doing all of those things. That's
Okay,
what
okay.
is the configuration.
Okay, now we are only running through the theoretical
Theoretical part,
will be
because
more.
all of this information you should know when you get into SuccessFactors. Somebody, when you start the implementation, somebody asks you to, your project manager says, share configuration workbooks with your customer. Now, you should not show a blank face. What is configuration workbook? Where would I download these documents from? What does that contain? You should
Okay,
have
so
that information,
initially,
right?
okay, so initially we'll be asked to do that or no?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You have to share these workbooks because you are the consultant. You will have access to partner rates. You can download these documents and you have to share these documents with the customer.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
And similarly, we have another documents here. Some other documents like, where is this? Where did we go? How did we close that? Implement tools and assets. Explore. Employee Central. Configuration workbooks. Okay, now this is employee data workbook. Similarly, we have foundation object workbook as well. Foundation object, as the name says, the foundation. Okay, foundation objects. All of the objects that are required for your customer, like what company we have to create, what departments we have to create in the system, what locations we have to create in the system for your customer. Now, different customers operate from different locations, right? Maybe the customer what I am implementing, they may be operating from 100 different locations in India. Maybe another customer that I work for, they only work for, they only work from one location. So depending on their requirement, we'll have to go and add all of these in the system. And these are called objects. Now, what do we see here? Are all called the foundation objects. Okay, we have different foundation objects here, like a division, a business unit, a company, a department, a job code, or a position, or a location, or a pay grade. So all of these are called foundation objects, and these foundation objects can also be configured differently for different customers. Okay, and they will be giving their requirement here. Now, first thing is legal entity. Legal entity is nothing but a company. If you are implementing for one of the customer called DMart, DMart is a company. Okay, and that company we need to create in the system. While creating the company, we have to fill some necessary fields or mandatory fields. Okay, now this shows up. How does the screen looks like, the company screen? Now this is the example. If you see here, this is how it looks. Your company code, your company name, what country does your company belongs to, how many hours the employee would be working for. You will find this information. This is the sample of the company screen. So these are the fields what we have to fill, and some of the fields are mandatory, some are optional, some are drop-down fields, and so on. Okay, and all of these fields related to each company or each object are shown up here. We have external code, we call it legal entity ID. Now, if your customer says, I don't want to call it as legal entity, I want to call it as company, we can change this ID. Now, customer label you have here. So go change it to company ID. Now we'll have to go and change this field legal entity ID to company ID. This is a mandatory field. If your customer says, I don't want it to be mandatory, you can make it optional. Okay. So these are the fields that your customer will not be giving much changes here, but they will be giving you the data here, the legal entity data. That means they have 4 companies. They want to call it as 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. They want to give these 4 companies. Company name, DMart India Private Limited. This is one company. DMart Services Private Limited. So they give all of the company names and company details here. Which country does it belongs to, or what is the currency and all. Okay, similarly, you have other objects like business unit, division, you have department. Department contains these fields. Department contains these fields. They'll be giving the department codes here. Now I want to have HR department when we want to call it as human resources department. Okay, this is to be configured. They want to have sales department. Okay, sales department. They want to have finance and costing. So I'll give the names here, finance and costing. So all of this we'll have to configure in the system. Now when I go here in the system, I have option to create the company, create the department, create the location, and so on. Okay, and we'll have to create those objects in the system for each customer. Now here you have option of department. So go search for a department and create a department. Customer has given you the details, like what department they want to have. You have start date, you have name of the department, description, status of the department, head of the department. You have all of these fields here. Code, name, description, status, start date, end date, okay, head of the department, parent department, etc. So these are the details. Now here you have the screenshot of it. You have a screenshot of it. This is how department looks. Similarly, you have location, location group, grades, job codes, etc. These are all about your foundation objects. Okay, so we'll stop it here for today. We'll continue tomorrow with some more topics of the partner edge. We have that kickoff template which we need to discuss, and more on the configuration workbooks as well. 2 more configuration workbooks which are important. I'll discuss that in tomorrow's session.
Okay.
Most probably tomorrow we'll be completing the theoretical part, and from day after tomorrow we'll be starting the practical part.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Venu, actually during the interview, will they ask us for any configuration questions?
Configuration questions, yes, they'll ask you. What were some of the scenarios that you have configured in the system?
Like technically
Okay.
how we do and all that?
Technically,
will they
yes.
ask?
Yes. If you are asked to make a field mandatory, where do you do that?
Okay. So they'll ask for the transactions also, yeah?
Transactions also they can ask. They might confuse you. If I have to create a department, where will I create? Or if I have to add a data, where do I add that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Like you'll be covering those, yeah?
Yes, you'll see.
Thanks, Venu. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Venu.
We'll stop it here. We'll continue tomorrow.
Bye.
Severin, are you getting it, or
I just want to
feel like
ask
getting
you,
lost?
like downloading the PDF file, do we have to do it right away, or
No, you'll be given the drive access. Once you get the drive access, you can download it from there.
okay.
Can you do it today or tomorrow?
If you have
Venu?
the access, you can do it. No, I'll ask your representative to share the access with all of you.
Okay, Venu. Okay,
Okay.
Venu.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Bye.
Thanks.